Hello, Proxy Table Gaming fans. I am Hyper G of PTG, and I'm here with the Gobbo.
Hello.
Hello, Gobbo. How are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm excellent. I am excellent, and the fans will be pleased to see that we've got rid of the dead wood after that. I don't know what
performance reviews were
performance reviews were
enacted.
conducted. Exactly. And you know, fans voted in huge majority that they missed me too much in the one battle that I missed a few weeks ago.
Exactly.
They brought me back by popular demand, didn't they?
They did.
Carried me on waves of virgins or something like that.
What?
Anyway, how are you, Gobbo? Did you enjoy your first battle report with us?
Yeah, it was really good. It was different because I knew the outcome at the end. But this time I don't know the outcome. I don't know what's happening.
No,
it was only last night you played this battle, so
I did. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Speaking of which,
I'm excited.
You should be. You should be. So it's Empire of Sonnstahl, played by StatRat. So again, you're commentating on a StatRat battle, which is quite funny. He battles twice in about 6 months, and you get both battle reports. So yeah,
nice.
And I am sticking with Saurian Ancients at the moment, trying to refine my list into something consistent that I like. Rolled up Frontline Clash and Spoils of War. And very brief mention that this is battle 149, which means we're one away from a 150. Something special. Look out for that. And this is StatRat's list. So take a little gander at that, Gobbo, and see what you think. He plays a version of this list whenever he plays Empire, which admittedly isn't very often. He doesn't get a chance to battle very much. But yeah, it's been updated with a few more recent points. Again, it's quite rare that we actually get a list from him, but we did.
That's nice. I do like the electoral cavalry.
Yeah, he's actually replaced a big unit of halberdiers, which no one really plays a lot these days, with 2 units of handgunners shooting to see how he gets on with those. So
I remember the old Once Bitten days when he used to have 2 blocks of 50 halberdiers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the good old days. Oh, that is going back to happy memories. The legend himself. Absolutely. Yeah, and those characters are just completely beefed up. You know, there's so much armor on those bad boys. Totally.
They're still humans, though, aren't they?
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Everyone
goes on about squishy elves, but same resilience as humans, isn't it? Yeah. And he's got 2 mortars in, which apparently he brought in especially because of the devastation that Lucky Six's trebuchets did against his vermin swarms in the battle that you remember. So we'll see how they get on in this one.
They only hit twice in the game, though.
Yeah, well, they just killed half a unit of vermin swarm, or vermin guard, whatever they were called. Yeah, absolutely. And so this is my refined Saurian Ancients list. A lot of the captains. A lot of the characters are the same. I've just got 2 skink captains chaffing this time. A slight tweak there, and I've got Talisman of the Void on the backup chaff rather than on the same guy as the Ranger's boots. So they're just 2 skink captains hiding away, ready to chaff. The core is almost the same, apart from I put musicians on my skink braves because that was one thing that I felt I needed, and to be honest, it was obvious I needed that anyway. I kind of knew it, but yeah. I've reduced the Raptors down to 10 because 12 got me in trouble when I couldn't move them out of a tight space in my last battle. But I don't want to drop them. I don't want to drop my Raptors because they're my.
I like Raptors.
They're my rule of cool, you know. And I love Raptor riders. No one plays them. No one plays them as a unit, so I'm fighting the tide here. But hey. The Ramphadons stayed in.
You as Raptors,
Yeah, well, tell me about it. Although, to be fair, I've only actually recently gone back to playing Raptors because they've only just come back in. And now I'm realising I probably shouldn't book them back in. But, oh well. The Ramphadons keep their place despite the fact they single-handedly lost the last battle for me, which wasn't really their fault. It was just that they fled to the most horrible place, if you remember. Chameleons, obviously, they stay in, and the Stygiosaur stays in because he's my best painted model. not by me. Or by you.
Or me.
No, if I'd known you then, well, I didn't know you then actually, but yeah, we didn't arrange that. I should mention actually, obviously painted by Nemiroth, so it was a great job.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I get this. I dropped for first. I know. I've never done that.
Kicked him from the channel. Now you're trying to replace his tactics as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It felt really weird because I looked at the opposing side of the board and I thought, there's nothing there. How do you make your matchups? And then I thought, oh, actually, I'm really bad at making matchups anyway, so let's just see what happens.
I play pool in the same way, just hit and hope.
Absolutely, yeah. Too right, yeah. Starrat was coming directly from work, so he is completely proxying with my models. So we've got all sorts of Empire units there. You've got Spider Riders for cavalry, you've got Wolf Riders for Reuters, you've got Dwarfs for Imperial Guard, you've got a Ogre Scrap Launcher as an arcane engine. So yeah, it's a bit of a mismatch. Proper proxy table gaming style.
Proper proxy, yeah.
Yeah. And this is my deployment with the Skink Braves on the left. Now, they were planning to basically make a run for the spoil on the left. But then Starrat deployed his cavalry right on that far side. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe not.
Are they blowpipes or javelins?
They are the blowpipe ones. No, javelins. Okay. The javelins, sorry. The javelins. Yeah, the core javelins ones.
The poison could do wonder, though, with the armour, surely.
No, poison doesn't go through armour.
Oh, not poison. Yeah, never mind.
Gosh, if you you tell me the poison goes through armour, Jesus, I need to play this again.
That's the auto win on 6, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh dear.
This is after Vanguard, so I've moved my Ramphadons further into the board, thinking that they would threaten more in the middle. Got the Stygiasaur. I've got everything pretty much around the Taurosaur's 6-up Aegis as well. And the Chameleons were ready to make a run on the mortar on the hill and just kill it before it got a shot. But then Starrat vanguarded his Reuters in front of the mortar, which meant that I would really have trouble seeing it because they're standard tall and the mortar is standard. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but good move from Starrat to start off. Means he had to take a little bit more time with the Chameleons. So moved up like so. Nothing too groundbreaking in that. I basically moved up the Chameleons so that they can do the same next turn, but they'll go through the Rangers in the forest on the way through. And at least that's the plan.
Yep.
I also moved my Stygiasaur so that he's in range of the telepathic link on the Quattle, so that he can cast Quattle spells a bit further forward onto the Reuters, you know. Get Word of Iron to boost the Stygiasaur's armor up to 1-up. And managed to panic the Rangers with the first set of Chameleon shots.
Nice.
Yeah, nice, yes. But I'd have preferred that they actually stayed put, because then I could have got the other Chameleon unit to shoot at them.
Oh, good
so
point.
That was actually 1 unit of Chameleons, and then they failed their 7 panic. So I was actually hoping to
wipe them out, yeah.
Exactly, wipe them out, whereas this way they're still a bit of a nuisance. He chaffs the Stygiasaur with the Reuters, comes right up, which is fine. And he moves up full throttle with his Knights on the right-hand side, which I expected him to do, to be honest. He was obviously going to get them into the battle as soon as possible. Obviously now I'm thinking of a cheeky sidestep around them to try and get to that spoil on the left.
Yeah.
If I can manage it. But obviously, I have to do a few things in order to get to that position. And then he didn't move at all in the centre. Obviously, most of that is ranged, or at least the mortar and the light infantry are. So yeah, he's staying back there. I think that's just a picture of that side. His Rangers did indeed rally, so can't do much about those.
He's being quite conservative, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was playing up on the fact that he's the shooting army, but he's very much letting me take control of the spoils, or at least 2 of them. So I thought. Ice and Fire takes a wound on a Stygiasaur, which Ice and Fire is good, man. It's AP3. I didn't realise that. Obviously only strength 4.
It's good that you got the +1 on it, but...
Well, I got +2 on the armor. I was 1 up armor save. But yeah, so... But then, what did surprise me, and I tell you what, my heart was thumping, he shoots with his Reuters into the Stygiusaur and does 2 wounds. How rude. And Jesus. Then he opens up with all his handgunners and does another wound. And despite the fact that that's probably in the wrong order, because the mortar could obviously have done D3 to begin with, the mortar then shoots and rolls a 1 to wound. So the dinosaur survives. But yeah, he totally got that in the wrong order, but then it didn't actually matter because the mortar missed. So yeah, my dinosaur is alive.
Good thing is he's so close to you, he can't stand and shoot when you charge him.
Yeah. When I charge him?
Of
course you don't know. Yes, absolutely. The other mortar lands a rock on these Saurian warriors, and quite unlike the vermin battle, only kill 3, because I have got a 6 up armor, I think. It might even be a 5 up. I think it's 5 up actually, because I think the pie plate, the 6x6, is only AP 1. And I've also got the 5 up Aegis from the Taurosaur. So, yeah. Oh, and he was also wounded on 5s. So, yeah. Kills a raptor with some handgunners. I'm not really sure why. I suppose shooting at chameleons is never a great idea because you're -2 to hit. But kills a raptor.
Was he not in range of the Taurosaur?
He was. But yeah.
Okay.
Chose the raptors.
Which is point now, that's all.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. So I moved the Stygiusaur over to this side to enable my... Because I moved the skinks up first, and they weren't out of line of sight, despite moving their full 12 inches.
Right, okay.
So I used my Stygiusaur as chaff, but also he's got a toxic breath weapon.
Okay.
And obviously toxic eliminates armor. So,
yes.
Yep, that was that. Now, I want to point out that, fast forwarding a little bit, Statrat charges with his cavalry on the Stygiusaur. He thought that I'd messed up my chaff and he could overrun into the skinks. Problem was, when he declared the charge, and it was obviously in, without us talking to each other, I went ahead and moved the knights, not moving the left-hand model. And I moved it before he even looked. And when I moved it, the overrun wasn't hitting the skinks. But Statrat said that during my turn, he'd looked at it and thought he would be able to overrun into the skinks. But the problem was that because I'd moved it, he wasn't looking at that time, and we weren't talking to each other while he moved it. We'd then moved the knights, so we couldn't prove where they started, and we couldn't go back and reassess it. And so we came to one of those gentlemen's agreements, which hopefully most people would do in a uncompetitive environment. And we basically said, well, obviously I was trying to chaff with the stitch. So irrespective of what I did do, and I need to, if I got that wrong, then that's a rookie error, because it's obvious what I'm trying to do, and I could easily do it. And so basically we played it that I got it right, even if I didn't. But that's just because we were playing it friendly, Obviously in a tournament, then that might cause problems. And in a tournament, I wouldn't have moved my opponent's models either. So, so we played it that they didn't have the opportunity to overrun into the skinks. I charged with my Saurian warriors into the Reuters, though, to try and get rid of them.
Did they not flee?
No, they stayed there.
And didn't stand and shoot?
They didn't kill anyone with a stand and shoot. So, yeah, they did stand and shoot. I was just checking. I do remember. Yeah. Over here, I moved the raptors up aggressively to try and go for the light infantry, the mortar, all sorts. And I go back to plan A with the chameleons to try and kill the mortar. Yep, that's the plan over there. Quicksilver Lash kills 1 knight. Bit gutted about that. I rolled a 1 on the hits. So, yep. And then the toxic attacks kills 1.
No.
I rolled 7 on the toxic attacks. That should kill 3 on average, at least. Maybe 4 on average. But I only killed 1. Or 1 out of 7 4-ups. That's how bad I am at rolling. So I was gutted about that, because obviously the Stitch is going to die, and he's a good 400 odd points. His only job was to deliver that toxic attacks on the Knights, because realistically that was what he's there for. And he only managed to kill 1.
Ace up the sleeve, wasn't it?
So that was annoying. Indeed. What is this? I think that's just him staying back again in his turn.
Kill the Vices, didn't you?
Oh, sorry, yes, thank you. Yes, see, that's what you're here for. Lucky Sixes would never have noticed that.
No.
He, for some reason, the Reuters on this side, I forget why, couldn't move any further. I think they must have failed a charge.
Did they fail their march?
No, they didn't, because even then they could have got a bit further. I think what happened actually is a little bit of a series of charges. So the Rangers charged a unit of Chameleons, the ones further into the board. The Chameleons fled through the Raptors, and then the Reuters charged them. And the Reuters only rolled like a 1 or a 2 on their charge, which meant they had to stop in front of the Ramphadons, which is not the best place to be if you're a Reuter.
No, nice little flank there.
Indeed. And the light infantry charged down the hill into the Chameleons and took a heck of a load of casualties from the stun and shoot. But still, they're going to beat up Chameleons, because everyone beats up Chameleons in combat.
Even light infantry? What are they? Handguns? Or they?
They're handguns. But Skinks are a defensive skill 2 and resilience 2. So he's still hitting and wounding on 2s. So, yeah. But what we realise later on is I'm in a forest, and skirmishers are stubborn in a forest. So,
and it should be 3, shouldn't it? Hitting and wounding on 3s.
Yeah, hitting and wounding on 3s. Yeah.
Okay.
Did I not say that?
You said 2.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Hopefully your Chameleons didn't die because you were wounding on 2s.
That would be horrible. What is this? He shoots off 1 Saurian warrior with the handgunners, I think. And he charges into there. And so you see the overrun just misses the Skinks.
Yeah. If that was your intention, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we played it that way.
Exactly.
So that's a lesson to, like, letting off your opponent in a friendly environment, but also someone like me...
This is my intended...
Exactly. Thing. I should be getting that right either way. There should be no dispute. So hands up to me there. There should be no situation where my opponent thinks I've messed that up, because that's a rookie mistake if I had. But hey, it was all good. It was all good. So actually, this is him killing 2 Saurians with his handguns, and this is the mortar.
That's the Chameleons that fled, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they fled all the way through. Yeah, that's right. Cool. And this is the mortar misfiring and not being able to shoot again. The rest of the
but it still took 3.
The other mortar did, I think.
Oh, okay. Cool.
No, the mortar's dead. So it must have been a combination of magic and shooting, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, bit unclear about that. But the main news is the mortar is not able to shoot again for the rest of the battle. So both the mortars are gone.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good for your units.
That is. I mean, obviously, I hadn't really got many ranked up infantry units, but still, mortars can still hurt me. So, I mean, I was actually thinking that he would mortar the Skinks on the left now, because one mortar on them, it hits 12 of them, wounding on 3s, with no saves on them.
Skinks.
Yeah, Skinks die. And they probably would panic as well on discipline 5 or 6. So, kills 5 Chameleons in the forest, but I am stubborn and pass my rate test, so they're sticking around. Sigisaur goes down without a fight, as you would expect. So, wow. Well done for you using your toxic breath weapon.
Good effort, mate.
Maybe I used it too early. No, I didn't. I would have died before combat. But yeah, anyway. So charge my Ramphidons into the Reuters, of course, and I move my Raptors past the light infantry onto the hill.
Getting ready to chew up some infantry.
Yes, that is indeed what I was doing. And so I was moving into the flank, obviously. I decided, after he reformed the knights, to face inward. Firstly, I needed my skink captain to chaff them again, to keep them from getting right in my face. But secondly...
What is it with you two and sacrificing characters?
Oh, yeah, but it's not as bad as a damsel, is it? Come on, that's what I said right from the start, that the skink captain was there as chaff. He knew his role. He knew his role, definitely. Yeah. And I decided that the Saurian infantry unit needed support in order before they could take on the knights. However, we'll find out one thing I have to say about that a bit later. These skinks do a little dance and head right onto the spoil, or head towards it, thinking they've got away with this. Yeah, that's exactly what they're there for. Silver Spike kills 1 or 2, which is great, because I mean, obviously that goes through the front of them. He'd dispelled it when it was in their flank the turn before, because he had to, because it would have just ripped through the whole of their rank, or file, as the case may be. Corruption of Tien on the Great Swords, just because I had a couple of dice left, and I didn't really have a lot else I could do with it. He dispelled Quicksilver Lash that turn, I believe. Kills a couple more Chameleons, and they again hold their stubborn.
Yes.
I know, they're showing everyone. I know, cold-blooded 6. Guaranteed, isn't it? I killed the Reuters with the Ramphidons, so they're having a good time. And they didn't overrun, because I didn't want to take too many DTs in the forest. Because I knew I was going to have to take DTs anyway to charge the light infantry. I was actually hoping the Chameleons would die next turn, so that I could then charge into the light infantry without them in the way. Because they've got the Toad Rage token on the light infantry.
Okay.
So the Ramphidons will go crazy on that unit. So I need the Chameleons out of the way, really. And this was annoying. Fate's Judgment, which is AP 0, killed 2 Raptors. Now, bearing in mind that I've so far done a Quicksilver Lash, a Silver Spike, and a Toxic Breath Weapon, and killed like 3 Empire Knights, all of which don't allow armor saves. And yet, Fate's Judgment, AP 0, kills 2 of my Raptors.
God's law on it.
I was annoyed about that, but hey, you know, he also obviously moves his great swords, not great swords, Imperial Guard, to face the Raptors. And I'm thinking...
They're a bit short for Imperial Guard, aren't
they? Yeah, a bit stunted. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he moves his Imperial Guard to face me, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's a problem. He kills 1 more with a ranger unit, ranger shots behind them. That's just cheeky. You know, that's just like adding salt to the wound, really.
Getting a little bit dangerous for them to go in now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The handgunners crazily do 1 wound to the Chameleons, but I'm fine with that, because guess who's next to Chaff? And the Chaff...
You just slant, are you?
No, not this game. That's a spoiler alert. Yeah, the Chameleons do go down to the light infantry this turn, so they're following the plan. He dies too, Mr. Damsel, doing his job. He's the one with Ranger's boots, not the Talisman of the Void, so I've still got all my channels, well, apart from the Stygies on. So. The Ramphidons sense the taste of Blot Toad, or Toad Rage, whatever it is these days, and they charge into the forest, into the light infantry. Actually use 3 wounds to the stun and shoot and the dangerous terrain, which is a little bit heavy, actually. I wanted to not lose a model to that. But on average, yeah, I will, exactly. He was hitting on 6s. I didn't lose any wounds to the DTs, actually. But he did 3 wounds with his handgunners hitting on 6s. So I was a bit annoyed about that as well.
Swinging it.
Yeah. Especially as I had a 5-up armor save as well. So, yeah. again, it happens. These guys grab hold of that and start legging it, of course.
So you're 1 up now.
I am 1 up on the objective. I am indeed. This time so in his turn, after killing the skink captain, he reformed to guard against Silver Spike. So basically I couldn't hit 2 models in one go with Silver Spike. Which is a good move, you know, because I mean, Silver Spike can go through 2 of them if it wounds. And I chaff with the chameleons, get them in the way. This time I'm actually thinking of the counter charge with my Taurosaur and my Saurian unit. Because if I can get the Taurosaur in there, trouble with the Taurosaur is he's a skink captain, so he could challenge out. But I think with impact hits, strength 6, and re-rolling the impact hit number, +1, I actually think I could kill even his general, potentially. 4 up armor save, 5 up Aegis. Maybe not kill it, but he's only got strength 5 weapon on the general.
But if you get the charge as well, is he lances or is he?
He's a lance on his BSB, a lance on his unit, and he's got a great weapon on his prelate. But mostly, if I get the charge,
so you should be okay.
Exactly, I can do a bit of damage. My caution, though, left me to not give him an overrun. So this is one of Lucky Six's classic 12.1 overruns. So yeah, he can't overrun into me. So I decide with my Raptors that, like you suggested, it's not a good idea to be charging into the front of the Greatswords because they are strength 5. They've got the Arcane Engine right next to them, and that's the one with Foresight, so lightning reflexes, meaning he would actually be hitting at the same time as me, which is basically me dead. You know, I might kill a few, but basically,
only with 7 attacks? 8 attacks?
2 attacks each on the riders, so yeah, it wouldn't do enough.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about this a bit at the end, not to give too much away. But that is what I decided to do with them. I basically decided to do a swift reform, run down the hill, and prep my flee move, basically. Thinking that they're scoring, they need to get the hell out of there, because they're just not going to cause the damage now.
Yeah.
Silver Spike and Quicksilver Lash. I think he dispelled one of them. Can't remember which. I think he actually dispelled Silver Spike. And I got 1 kill with Quicksilver Lash. You'll notice I'm only killing 1 with Quicksilver Lash each turn, because this I think is my 3rd or 4th casting of Lash, and every time on the D3+1 I've rolled a 1, and I'm still only killing 1 despite the fact it's killing on a 2 up. So even when I get D3+1, roll a 1, 2 hits, still only killing 1 a turn. I'm still finding those 1s.
I think we should change your name to Unlucky Ones.
Oh, totally. It would be about right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this happened. So, obviously, I moved the Raptors down the hill. He needed... Well, he was about, I think it was 9 inches away. Yeah, 9 inches away from me. But obviously, I have a flee, which I was always going to do. That was always the plan. I rolled a 5 for my Swift Stride Flee, which isn't great, really. I mean, there was always... And he rolls down the hill, and not only that, but he's given them the order where they get +1 advance, and they've got a banner of speed, so they're actually movement 6. So they only needed an 8. On the first roll, he rolled a 7, but he re-rolled down the hill and got exactly an 8. I was gutted. I was so gutted.
Not good.
Because, yeah, like I say, I'm going to talk a bit more about the Raptors at the end of the battle, so we won't worry about that too much right now. But that was annoying. That was really annoying, because I really thought I had a good chance of getting away. You know, Swift Stride, you shouldn't really be rolling a 5. Again, it does happen. But, yeah. Charges into the chameleons, and funnily enough, I kill one.
Yes.
Actually, no, I don't know how I killed one, because I wasn't able to stand and shoot. Maybe that's
in combat.
Yeah. This isn't after combat, mate. Somehow, yeah. And yeah, I think that's just a picture of how it looks, because he passed his discipline test after running down the raptors, and now he's facing right at me with his greatswords. And all of a sudden, my little countercharge with the Saurian warriors and the Taurosaur isn't looking quite as safe, really.
No.
Because that unit of greatswords that was all the way at the top is now right there. Not ideal. He casts Fate's Judgment, okay, and I let it through because there's a lot that would suggest that my Salamander can survive that. For one thing, it's only D6 hits. So, and I've got a 4-up armor save.
How many did he roll?
He rolled 6 hits, obviously. Obviously, I don't pass 4 of the armor saves. I don't know why I even test my luck on these things, because average says he shouldn't die. But he dies.
How many wounds do they have? 4?
3.
3.
So I need to save 4 of them. But obviously, that's only if he does 6 hits.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so. Yeah, never mind. These
you
guys
played the averages and it should have worked. But...
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I was obviously trying to stop a few buff spells. I can't remember what I was trying to stop. But, yeah, I can't remember what I was trying to stop. That should have been a priority, really. Anyway, I charge into the Rangers, and rudely, I only killed 2 of them, which is a bit crazy, because Ramphrodons really should rip through them, even without a toad on them. So those Rangers, and the thing is, I can't chase after them, because I need the Ramphrodons now. The Salamander's gone down.
Yes.
I need them for other duties. Yeah. Kills the chameleons, of course. And so what I do is I move the Ramphrodons to chaff the greatswords right in front of them, because I just don't want them getting through to the Quattle or anything like that. This is my turn 5, so I know if he can't get onto the objectives during his turn 5, then he won't be able to pick them up in his turn 6.
Yes.
So all I need to do is stop him getting onto both objectives in order to win the objective, or threaten that middle one and kill the knights. He's only got 3 actual models left in that knight unit now. So I am chipping away at it very slowly. And so I'm thinking, if he does... I don't want him to charge with his knights, because I'm still forgetting that my Saurian warriors have a flaming standard, and it would be awfully easy to put flammable on those knights. So actually, my Saurian warriors are pretty built for combat, but I'm forgetting that the entire battle. So I still stand off against the knights, still keep the Taurosaur back, thinking, bide your time, give Alchemy one more chance. Stop him getting that middle objective. Can you sense my disappointment? These guys run away with the objective, still dancing. And I do a silver spike, but he allocates it to his prelate. No, sorry, that's a lash. So it kills 1 knight and 1 wound on a prelate. Because again, I roll 1 on the D3, so do 2 wounds. So yeah, now because he's got less than 5 rank and file models, he can allocate. So
yeah,
characters start taking the hits with their 3 HP. And then this happened in his turn 5. So he charges the Arcane Engine into the flank of my Ramphrodons. Didn't see that at all. But that isn't really that much of a problem, really. It kills the Ramphrodons, obviously. But the real problem is what's the other part of the picture, which is... He's got the objective. And he gave them the additional movement against their movement 6. And then he went into this Yankee Congo formation, wheeled round, and just touched the objective. And we did it so carefully, so it was genuinely correct. I cannot make any argument that it was possible. Didn't see it, didn't guard against it. So, I thought I'd stop them getting on that objective. I really did. Genuinely thought I'd stop them getting that objective. Thought he'd just have to charge the Ramphidons, kill the Ramphidons, fine. But the objective could still potentially be mine. Obviously, there's no way I'm getting those greatswords off the board or off the objective. No way at all. So that turns the advantage of the objective back to being a draw. He gets the knights the hell out of there as well. Doesn't even go for that middle objective. Because now he knows he can put any alchemy damage on his characters and spread the damage out. He's happy with the drawn objective. He knows he's up on points. So he gets out of there. And he actually turns the infantry, the handgunners, to face the skinks to see whether they can plink the objective off those skinks with a panic test. Yeah. Kills the Ramphidons, of course, because he rolls 6 on his arcane engine impact hits. But to be fair, he could have killed them with 3 or 4. So, I'm not that aggrieved about that.
Yeah, not bitter.
Exactly. Turn 6 for me, head in my hands, sort of thing. I just move my Saurian warriors up to stare at the arcane engine. I throw a few missiles at the knights because now I realise that I've missed the boat with my warriors and the Taurosaur. Can't charge that. And do a few wounds on the characters, but no more unit kills. So only get half points on the knights, no points on the characters. What do you think? How did it go?
Did he shoot the skinks off?
Oh yeah, I didn't get a picture of that. No, I got out of range.
Oh, thank God for that. Okay.
So
I'm going to
was
go
drawn.
11-9 him.
Well, you're not wrong about the result. But points was surprisingly a bit higher in his way because the Stygiosaur was worth so much. The Raptors were worth so much. I really only got one mortar. I didn't get any points for the Rangers, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I got the Reuters.
We had half points for the Knights.
Yeah, 1 unit of light infantry, but really not a lot. Didn't score a lot of points. I think it was about 1,000 points I got to his 2,000. So yeah, disappointing really. In the end, that I only managed to draw the objective because I really think it was mine to lose the objective. Basically,
that would have put it to a 10-10.
You what? Sorry? Yeah, it would. If I'd have got the objective, it would have been 10-10. And I think, easily a 10-10, definitely. Yeah. Maybe he would have been forced to try and get the middle objective with the Knights, which would have meant I could have actually charged them and potentially even won if he went desperate like that. Yeah. So I did lose. Fair play. Stat Rat played really well. I had a bit of bad luck, but I'm not pinning it on that because that's just me. But what I did think,
Spikes did 1 wound.
Oh, yeah, man. Actually, I cast 5 Quicksilver Lashes in the course of the game.
Yeah.
No, 4. Let's be honest. I did 4, and I think I killed 4 Knights and 1 wound on a prelate. So yeah, not ideal. And obviously, Toxic Breath Weapon only did 1. Anyway, stop it, you. I'm not talking about luck because I want to do a little bit of a tactical, right? Okay. I know I've got to be quick because Lucky Six is always on at me. You talk too much in your battle reports. Blah blah blah. He's not here. Don't care. So I love my Raptors. I love them to bits, but I need to learn to play them. I really need to learn.
Why did you turn around them and go the other way? Why didn't you go to the side of them?
Oh, I'll get to that.
Okay.
Basically, this is mistake number 1, right? I moved my Raptors up to there, right? Can you see what the obvious incorrect thing is about that move? I don't mind if you don't spot it. I'm going to tell you in a minute anyway.
I can't see it.
Well, I'm only 2 inches away from that objective.
So you could have picked up the objective first.
I could have just picked up the objective right there. Turn 3, I would have had the objective. Realistically, I don't need my Raptors to march that much. I only need them to charge from that point on. And charging, you don't get any penalty once you've got a spoil. Other than the fact that if you lose it, you give the objective to your opponent. But I could have just got the objective and then just been a bit more tactical with my charges. Because realistically, even 10 of them isn't going to hurt the greatswords.
No.
So why I moved them past the objective is beyond me. It really is. I didn't even give it a thought. My priority was staying out the line of sight of the greatswords. But I just moved past the objective. That is just silly. Really, really silly.
Because the writers were looking at you as well.
Yeah, but come on, writers? They're not going to cause me much damage.
In a flank, they might.
In a flank, maybe, but I doubt they would panic me or make me break. But no, you got a point there. But I think I could have guarded against that. No reason why I had to actually, to be facing that way. If I was bothered about the writers, I could have just faced to the right, couldn't I? And still been on the objective.
Yeah, if you were back and on the objective facing to the writers, the greatswords wouldn't get anywhere near you.
Exactly, they'd be out of line of sight. Yeah. So that was silly. This is my other problem, is the next turn when the light infantry charged my chameleons into the forest. I don't think my raptors should have charged into the forest to deal with the light infantry. I don't think that was necessarily too much of a mistake. Although, what am I actually trying to achieve here? Because I've moved into the flank of the greatswords, but he's got another turn before I actually charge. What do I expect him to do? Obviously, he's going to turn to be in my front, his front to my front. Why am I even thinking that he's going to give me a flank charge on his greatswords? And even if he doesn't, he could easily just march out of their line of sight if he wanted to. So I think something was going on in my head during that battle, because I was not doing the right thing with the raptors there either. Because they're just not going to achieve anything in that position. But then there's this, which, as I said, we'll get to. So what would you have done in this situation, Gobbo?
Gone to their right.
Absolutely.
Just get them to turn around, just keep mucking around with them.
Yeah.
And then run away if you can.
Yeah. There is loads of room to get out of their line of sight. Obviously, it's providing I pass a march test. No, actually, I don't need to. It's Swift Reform. Just get in their flank. Just sit there and yeah, it's easy, isn't it?
Then when they turn again, get in the flank again.
Yeah. It's easy. Really easy. But
now,
obviously, in hindsight, I didn't know I was going to roll a 5 on my Swift Stride Flea. And really, you should be rolling at least a 7, maybe an 8, which changes the charge from an 8 to a 10 or 11. Rerollable still, but still less likely.
Would it have been worth going back an inch and staying on the hill so you can get further on?
You don't get a reroll on a Flea, unfortunately. Yeah, just on a charge. But yeah, so I think that was a bad move. Now, what I was thinking is that when I flee and get away, I can then reform, get the objective, and then get out of there. That was my best case scenario. But of course, I relied on that flee move, and it didn't work. So now, the other thing isn't actually to do with the raptors. This was really crucial in terms of my plan to stop him getting the objective. I can't remember what I dispelled or what priority I put on dispelling, but obviously, because the salamander died, it meant I had to chaff with the Ramphadons instead. And the salamander could have definitely chaffed a lot better. Well, not a lot better, but I could have stopped the greatswords. I could have put like the Ramphadons on the right flank, the salamander in the middle. The greatswords wouldn't have been able to get the objective if the salamander had been alive. And he only had like a couple of missiles. I think the other one was Ice and Fire would have been my priority, actually, because that's AP3, Strength 4 AP3. So that would be what I dispelled this turn, which meant he got Fate's Judgment through. So that was crucial. I lost my chaff there. You'll notice in the skinks, the other skink captain is not on that flank, and he could have also chaffed if I'd got him in the right place. I mean, that was all in reaction to the raptors dying, though, so I didn't have a lot of time to prepare that the greatswords were going to be there.
Exactly, yeah.
But still. And then, of course, this was my final hash-up, really, in order to lose the objective. Why are the Ramphadons there? Right, bearing in mind that he needs to be on the objective for his turn 5. By the end of his turn 5, he needs to be on the objective. I could have quite easily put my Ramphadons somewhere else to stop him getting on the objective.
literally, you could stand on the objective, keep him within the march check for him,
yeah,
and then just turn your skinks around so he's got even further to go towards you.
Yeah, that's one option, definitely. I'm not sure if I would have been out of line of sight, though, if I'd stood on the objective. And he might have just been able to charge my Ramphadons. I suppose, actually, he would need to overrun. And then there's a risk that he would overrun past the objective. So that could have been a thing, actually. But there are so many ways that I can position the Ramphadon so he doesn't get on the objective by the end of turn 5.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Arcane Engine to come in. That was a good...
No. But again, I think if I move the Ramphadons further out, potentially the Arcane Engine can't even see them or can't get to them, one or the other. But I think, like I say, disregarding the luck, because I didn't have great luck on the Alchemy, forget that. I think I just need to learn how to play my Raptors and my Ramphadons better. And that is the whole point of me playing Saurians at the moment. That is what I'm trying to do. So test, get better with them. And the reason why Lucky Sixes is so efficient with his lists is he's practices all the time.
He hasn't changed it for 5 years. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is my summary basically of.
You happy with Alchemy?
I'm happy with Alchemy. I mean, I've got Essence of a Free Mind, so I could choose Divination if I want. But against Knights, you got to go Alchemy, haven't you? So yeah. Divination wouldn't have been bad. I could have just targeted the Greatswords with Unerring Strike and things instead. Maybe.
I also think, again, remembering your Flaming Banner.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about that, the Saurian warriors, they could have been Agility 4 when the Knights charged them, which means the unit is attacking at the same time as the Knights. Sorry, the Knights are attacking at the same time as the Saurian warriors. All I need to do is get one Alchemy spell off to get Flammable on the Knights. Re-rolling to wound on the Saurians when they're wounding on 3s, AP 3.
Yeah.
It's quite nice. And I mean, then I just...
If you have a Taurosaur as well.
Yeah. Well, exactly. The thing is, I chaff with a chaffing unit. He kills the chaff, overruns into the warriors. Then I charge with a Taurosaur. I could have easily set that up. Easily. And even then, you disregard the Flaming Banner, it's still profitable. So I just think I had a bit of a mare. No, which isn't actually that unusual for me, let's be honest.
But considering you had a mare, you only ended up 13-7.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying that. Thank you for pointing that out. That is appreciated.
Because whenever I have a mare, I end up with 0.
Yeah, perhaps. But yeah, that's a good way to spin it. Thank you. I'll take that, actually. And we'll end the battle there.
Exactly.
Cool. I think, let's end the battle there. So, I hope you've enjoyed your second battle report, Gobbo.
It's been really good.
Thank you for joining me. What do you reckon? Should we invite Lucky Sixes back for another one? Or
we should put it to the viewers.
Ooh, that's a good one. In the comments, vote. Who's the next people on the report? Well, next report is 150. Yeah, well, I think they probably would, actually. That would be amazing. See the legendary stat rat in action. It'll never happen. So join us for battle 150. Not sure who will be reporting on that one. I should mention as well, Lucky Sixes isn't actually on holiday. We just told him to bugger off. Yeah. So don't forget
He's got to pick up the Chinese, isn't he?
Yeah. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Give me lots of comments on how much you think I messed up most of my units on this battle. But hey, sometimes you're just having too much fun to notice you're playing terribly. Because honestly, I didn't think about most of these mistakes until I watched the pictures again. So, cool. All right, we'll end it there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to check out Gobbo's work, which is amazing. Really enjoying the fact that you are seeing all of his stuff in action. And going to be plenty more to come, isn't there, Gobbo?
Loads more to come.
Yeah.
Trying to think what's coming up next. I've got commissions booked left, right, and centre. We've got unboxing videos. Loads of stuff coming.
I would say, actually, on the point of commissions, if you are thinking that Gobbo's work is awesome, and you should be, then you need to get your commissions in quickly, because I'll tell you what, this is going to be a busy Gobbo. So Get in contact now, and you will not
we
regret
like being busy. Don't worry.
Good. Awesome. Cool. We'll see you for the next one, guys. Bye.
Cheers. See you soon. Bye.